Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kelsey.
And we are
Pilates Before
Pickup. What are we talking about today?
Second episode. This one's major. We are going to talk about what movement looked like for us before we had kids, how we got it into our day during our pregnancies, a little bit of background on our pregnancies and any kind of like health things that came up through that. And then a little bit now, like postpartum, but also like years later. Okay. Yeah. So we want to touch on all of that. So talk to me about your first pregnancy, what was going on in your life at the time, what work looked like, and how you fit movement into that.
Yeah. So I would say even before I got pregnant, movement was super important to me. Like it was part of my routine. I will say maybe it was a little bit toxic, right? Like I think
2018 was a different time.
I think I can admit that now. It was like if I did not get in that breathless movement every single day, I was like, oh,
what's the point?
What's the point, right? Which is so bad. I feel like I have made so much progress since then, and I'm so happy with where I'm at today. But backtrack. Pre-kids, I was working in Boston, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Oof. So finding movement was still a little hard. I think like before kids, although like you're, just taking care of you and your significant other, you still like have this schedule that you have to be on.
It's almost like your time management skills are not as honed in as when you're a mom.
Totally.
So it does still feel overwhelming when you're working and committing your time like that to sneak it in. And it's like still a 6 a.m. situation.
Right.
If you're going to go before work.
So it was like either like get to a 5:30 a.m. class at the JCC. Hey-o.
Shout out
JCC.
She also met her man there.
Yes. Or it was head to the gym after work, and I would hit that train and get back to Marblehead and head right to the YMCA and get home, it's dinner, and then
do it all again. Yeah.
And that was the sketch. And then movement did change for me when I got pregnant, and there's a few reasons for that. So long story short, had a ton of trouble getting pregnant. It took us about 12 months, did a little bit of fertility treatments, just oral medication, Clomid, 8 months of that, I would say. And that last one, we got pregnant, which was really great, but it's so funny how all the stars align or disalign. So the alignment it was the day, it was last day of my current job at the time. I worked in...
You found out that day?
I found out that day. Last day of work. It was the last day of work. I hated my job then.
Okay.
I hated it. Chained to the desk, it felt like. I just didn't feel like comfortable there anymore. I just didn't feel like I could truly be myself. And I'll tell you, the stress from that job,
I bet,
put so much on me, my body. I chalk that up for why it took me so long to get pregnant. But amidst all that, I was looking for a new job, found a new job, put in my 2 weeks. Last day of work, I get a call from Brigham, literally just about I'm about to leave for our like going away, last day of work party.
Dinner or whatever.
And they call me on my work phone. Was it my work phone? No, it was my cell phone. And they tell me I'm pregnant.
Thank God.
And I was like,
wow.
Called Ryan. He didn't answer. So I called my sister-in-law. And
of course, what else would you do?
She was the first one told I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So anyways, I switched to a job that had so much more flexibility and work-life balance and just understanding that like life happens and having trust in me that I'm going to get my job done. So with that, I was able to like take a breath and like get in movement that felt good for me and supported my pregnancy.
Yeah.
So like I continued to run. I was a big runner at the time. A couple days a week doing that. I remember doing Orange Theory.
Oh yeah,
that
was the time.
But I had so much fun with it. Again, like time was different then, and like I didn't have like another kid that I had to take care of. Like world was my oyster, and I was taking classes at Town Bar at the time, and I think I was getting ready to teach there probably about like 8 months later. Pre-pandemic. But anyways, besides the point, I was able to find a healthy mix of movement that felt good for me and fit into my schedule.
Oh, that's so good. That's amazing. My experience is just slightly different. We had just been married in June And in August of that year, I had actually just got done teaching my shift. I had taught 3 Pilates classes and I was having like this horrible pain. So I'm like, let me get this looked at. This is freaking me out. And turns out I needed an appendectomy. My appendix had burst. So long story short, it had been this really long surgery. I had to walk out of the hospital with like a JP drain out of my abdomen for weeks and weeks. And obviously, before they do surgery, they took blood work and they tested, made sure I wasn't pregnant at the time, nothing like that. And a few weeks later, I'm going to the Topsfield Fair and I'm like, why do I need cheese fries right now? And that day, being on a stick, and what do you know? I was 8 weeks pregnant. So if like the math was mathing, it was that I probably got pregnant during that week, during that time. And it was just a nice hearty pregnancy.
So wild.
So wild. So this is 2019. So I kept working. I was, at the time I was working 5 days a week at a Pilates studio and would do like 3 to 4 classes a day. And in a way that was more flexible than what I had been doing. We already talked about how I was working at a gym before then. So it would be like 9, 10, 11, 12, and then I would be done for the day.
Yeah.
So, but on the other end, it was like so much verbal instruction teaching reformer Pilates. I would be so tired.
Yeah.
So admittedly,
totally.
I didn't exercise that much as I should have in my first pregnancy. And it really affected me. First of all, I gained between 60 and 70 pounds. I try not to even think about that anymore. And saw numbers on the scale I had never seen before. And that doesn't really matter in pregnancy. They never once said I had an unhealthy pregnancy.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if I would have had an easier time moving, walking, whatever, if I had been really focused on that aspect. The other thing that really affected me was, as we know, my due date was May of 2020. So obviously the shutdown happened. I stopped working. My husband, who works for the stock market, was home all the time. So we would go on long, like 5-mile walks. He was not working. There was nothing going on at the stock market. So he was like free. We would walk around. At the time we were living in Swampscott, we would walk all around everywhere. I actually really liked having him home.
Yeah.
So it was like a little bit more unique in that way. However, when it came time to deliver, they let me go a little too long because of the pandemic. I was 41 weeks at the time, and homegirl was still very comfortable. So finally I went in to get induced, and after 2 hours of pushing, we opted for a C-section. She was sunny side up. So she was looking at my right hip bone. So I have the surgery, and I just had that surgery, right? Like 9 months before. So I had tons of abdominal separation after I had Sailor, my first. She's, this was a pandemic baby. I was in a back brace.
Oh my God.
Like 6 months. I was in heavy PT, but I didn't get there by someone saying to me from, my 6 weeks follow-up appointment, like, let's get some PT.
Right.
Like, obviously you have this terrible abdominal separation.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was like 6 months postpartum picking up a big old baby, a 10-pound baby, that I was like, oh my God, I can't walk. I can't move. I can't do anything. So that's when like the fitness and the longevity aspect of me really like flipped the switch. I found an insane, amazing Michelle Perry, shout out to you saved my life, PT, in Swampscott, and it really did change my life. She's like, listen, you have to strengthen your core. Like there's so much abdominal separation that we're really starting from like ground zero. She had worked with dancers. She had a reformer in her place of business, and yeah, I credit her to completely being pain-free ever since then, and that includes 2 more pregnancies, 1 more baby. So I think it was like really turned on for me, like, wow, you really need to be moving and supporting your body in a way that's going to help for that like delivery and postpartum factor. So that was a big aha moment for me.
That's amazing.
Now talk about, so you have your first.
Yeah. So my journey with delivering, pretty easy, not bad, honestly. And I do chalk it up to, the consistent movement. And I think I could say that I was able to kind of bounce back. I know we kind of hate
trigger
word, but it happened pretty quickly after.
And how old were you when you had your first?
Was I 30? I was 30. Oh my God, celebrating my 30th birthday, 6 months pregnant.
I did the exact same. Actually, no, Sailor was 6 months when I turned 30.
Okay.
And I remember being like, wow, like what a rager. And like you couldn't even leave your house because of the pandemic. And I was like, sick, like fun. But anyways, take us back to that. And then also like now you have a baby. So
Yes.
how are you fitting in movement now?
Yeah.
And did you go right back to work
Right.
or pandemic? Like
Right.
what affected that?
Well, I will say, so first pregnancy, movement, hop right back into it. Actually was teaching at another studio at the time, went right back to teaching, probably quicker than I should have,
Yeah.
but was totally fine. But I will say for the second pregnancy, very similar-ish movement. However, pandemic hit. So I bought myself a Peloton. I was doing it all in the basement.
Yeah.
I was teaching Zoom classes.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot was going on. And I will say my body did not do the same as it did after my first pregnancy. I tried to hop right back into movement
This
after
is
my
after your
second.
Okay.
And my core did not respond the same as it did first time around. And those effects honestly didn't actually hit until maybe until my daughter was one, my second. And I started getting excruciating lower back pains. And I thought, oh, it'll just pass. And, you know, over the years got increasingly worse. And probably about like
it was affecting your workouts, your
affecting my workouts, everyday life, sleeping, sitting, everything. It was horrendous, debilitating. I started going to a chiropractor. It started to help. Took a break from the chiropractor. Shout out Liz Beal. She had a baby at that time and had to get my ass back to her. And she whipped me back into shape, and we realized that there was something wrong with my my lower back. We went and got an MRI. I have a major bulging herniated disc. Liz has helped me, I would say, recover from it. It will never fully heal, but I have found that slowing down my movement, especially with my Pilates work, bar work, anything core related, slowing it down and being super intentional with that movement has helped me recover.
Yeah.
I was saying today, I was teaching a bar class and we were stretching and I was in a ragdoll position. I was like, man, 8 months ago, I couldn't even do something like that, which is
wild.
insane.
Yeah. Wild.
So, yeah, I think there's something to be said for your body going through changes.
Yeah.
And after each pregnancy, it's, you know, totally normal. And me being able to like ebb and flow with that and change up my routine. And
I think taking a cue from your body, like if your back is hurting, your hip is hurting, like whatever it is, that is your body's way of trying to like communicate to you. And it wasn't, we always had this like power through mentality, like maybe the millennials and us, it's like, you keep going. It's like, no, well, actually, no, like that's not the right thing to do. And it's like, we're young. We're so young. But like we're only, every day we get a little older.
We're teen moms.
We're young. We're teen moms. But basically, every day it gets older and it gets harder. And I like the utmost respect to people that have babies now in their late 30s and even in their early 40s. It's like really such a toll on your body to be going through that. Every year it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
I have a unique experience with my second pregnancy. So I actually got pregnant again and lost that baby. And thank God I did, obviously, because I have Miles, like my literal angel on earth, that they both are, but like a son. So when I had my miscarriage, I wasn't moving at the time. I had just had, this is such a wild story, but I ended up having a second appendectomy. And they had to open me up belly button to pubic bone. So now I got a C-section, hip bone to hip bone and scar. And now pubic bone to belly button scar. So as you can imagine, it's a stunning bikini season outfit. But it doesn't matter because obviously everyone's here and safe. But because of that surgery, and I was in PT at the time, I really stuck true to like my core work and my PT once I was cleared and all that. And I ended up getting pregnant with Miles, and my experiences night and day. First of all, was like the cutest little pregnant lady like ever, but I think it was more like I was just taking care of myself, knew what I needed, knew how much this was going to take a toll on my body. I no longer wanted to work out where I was teaching anymore. So I didn't, at the time I was at the reformer, I didn't love laying down even with the pregnancy wedge. I just felt pressure, my back hurt, whatever. So that's when I ended up at Power. Power, I realized like, I just think everyone knows us. With the last episode, I realized we didn't really give a background, but Power by Steph is where we both work now.
Yes.
And that Power by Steph was previously owned by Town Bar, which I know Michelle from growing up, and you worked there. So obviously you know Michelle. So that's kind of like the background of all the names we spewed in the last episode. But anyways, I made my way to the mat and to Steph. I remember I DM'd her because it's slightly heated. And I was like, is this pregnancy safe? And she's like, oh yeah, girl, come on down. So I started coming to your class, to Steph's class. And then there was Melissa.
Yeah, shout out Melissa.
Wait, shout out Melissa. I would come to her
the
classes.
kickboxing queen.
Yeah, she was insane. And it would be just, this is like early days of Steph, but it would just be me and her like at 9 a.m. And we would just like move and talk, and I'd be pregnant and we would still work out, but it was so like the pressure was off, and it was just such a fun time. And Sailor was at the time in preschool, so movement was a big part of my second pregnancy.
I love that.
And I opted for a beautifully scheduled C-section where I walked in with my hair Dysoned. I felt like $1,000,000 and had a baby. It was way more civilized, and my recovery. No, I said that. I remember saying that on the table. The anesthesiologist was from our area and was members at somewhere that like we could connect and talk about.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to him, he's like young and like hot, not gonna lie, but he was like, I'm like, this is a way more civilized way to have a baby. And he goes, going forward, like I will be using that term about a planned C-section. And that's really what it was. Like the recovery was night and day different. I mean, obviously you have another kid at home, so that adds another layer. My back never hurt again. I never needed PT. Oh, you know what? They sewed in my second C-section. They sewed my ab separation. And it was, and it is a testament. Like if you're pregnant right now, or you just had a pregnancy that was extremely difficult, like it truly is different with every baby, movement wise and also postpartum wise. And I will not be having a third. And although it was a beautiful experience, all the credit to everyone that has all the babies, multiples. I'm so happy with my two. But I think when you're outnumbered, you're a badass for doing that. And now let's chat about how, my youngest is 2.5, well on his way to 3. Your youngest is 4. Let's talk about how, like with toddlers and moving, obviously like when you have a 6-month-old, you can put them right there and do a little workout video, but let's get to it now. Cause now we got like full blown kids, mommy, we're screaming, we need snacks, we need all the things. So what's that look like for you at your house? Do you oftentimes try to schedule a workout outside of the house, aside from your teaching? What does your day-to-day at home look like? Are we doing videos? Are you coming up with that content for yourself? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So a majority of my workout routine, just because I do work a full-time job, I work from home, but it is like a 9 to 5, and movement, if I don't wake up early in the morning, it's, hard to squeeze in. So, sometimes on my lunch break, sometimes in the morning, I typically follow about like a 30 to 45-minute workout routine. Shout out to the Faster Way. I have been really loving their strength workouts.
Not sponsored,
but really, really legit strength workouts, 30 minutes in and out.
Made for the mother,
100%. Like, don't have to think about it. I have my whole weight set up in the basement. You guys have seen me post about stuff. I change up some of the movements that feel better for me. Again, with a back injury, I just want to make sure I'm still protecting that and moving safely. I will alter some things so that it feels good for me. I still love a studio class. Like, if I could be there every day, I would.
Me too.
But I try and get to the studio once or twice a week at least. And it's really nice to be able to like connect deeply with my core that way. I like to walk. I have a treadmill in my basement, or I like to go on walks outside when it finally warms up. That is like the best. The absolute best. Therapy. Like throw in a podcast, walk with a friend. Like that is my jam. Absolutely love that. And it's taken me a while to get there. I used to be such a big runner. And again, back issue happened, and chiropractor was like, that pounding on the pavement is not great for you.
Thing that circles back in, right? Because it's like, obviously if you could run forever, you could, but it's like you could run right now, but when you're 50, what are we talking about then?
Exactly.
It's like that lens of looking into your future.
So lean into the walking. Like I think there is something so therapeutic.
I feel like walking's having a moment right now, right?
It's so important for our cardiovascular health. I had a moment with a walking vest.
Oh, you did? The weighted vest. I never got into that.
I had to put it away. It did not work with the back.
Right.
It didn't work with the back.
Yeah.
I think some people, it is like, does everything for them, and
It's
Do
another,
you. Do
it's,
you.
I was just going to say, it's another one of those moments where it's like not everything's for everyone,
Yeah.
but some things can change your life.
Yes.
Figure it out, keep it moving, and keep doing what's good for you. I just wanted to read you this stat right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So this is from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Okay.
Okay.
It says long-term conditions. Okay. This is after having a baby. Over a third of women experience lasting issues like pain during intercourse, 35%, low back pain, 32%, or incontinence, 8 to 31%. Okay,
Isn't that wild?
those are wild numbers.
Yeah.
Why, like, can we talk about how we should all just be at that 6-week appointment, be getting our name and number for our PT, and then
Right.
scheduling that?
Yeah.
So talk to me. Did you ever do any PT? I know you said that you did chiropractor work and then you
Yeah.
did a little work with your back, obviously, but
Yeah.
like I'm wondering about your pelvic floor, your
Yeah.
abdominals. I want to hear about that.
I did for a little bit when we weren't sure what was going on with my lower back. I went to physical therapy, a few different physical therapists, actually unintentionally because I pulled something in my calf playing tennis.
During the time, yeah.
Playing tennis,
Yeah.
and then my whole body just fell
Mhm.
apart. So I did end up at a physical therapist for a little bit, and we discovered I have a small ab separation. I had some weak hamstrings, and all of that was also affecting my
Your
lower
back, for
So
sure.
so many things. So I think it was super important for me to find that awareness of my body and what was going on, and learning to move with it based
Yeah.
on where I was at. Right?
Yeah.
What about you?
I never did the internal PT, although I wish
I never did that.
There's not a lot around our area. I've had some conversations at Power with some people who have found good people. So if you're looking for someone, send us a DM at Pilates for a pickup.
Allie Riley.
Okay.
Allison
I think
Riley.
that might be who I'm thinking of.
She's great. She's great. A lot of people in town go to her.
Yeah.
I went to her. I did not get the internal. I just did some strength stuff with her. And
so I did a similar thing, like I said. But I will say my PT is Michelle Perry. She's family family friends growing up.
Yeah.
We call them cousins. I know that's not a thing, but she really helped me find like how to engage by pressing and being like, okay, engage here. And she would feel like that everything was tensing and I couldn't engage.
Isn't that funny? Me too.
So crazy. I'm like, why didn't I know this when I was 18? Like, why has my whole life been
But don't you feel like PE? Why couldn't they tell us how to properly breathe? Right?
Why are we
touch our
core?
toes? Yeah. We climb the wall, but we're not learning to breathe.
No. We're like racing through how many people can do sit-ups, but not one of those sit-ups is done correctly.
Yeah, we should learn to breathe because I'm still learning.
Yeah. I will say the PT definitely did help. I just I still hear from friends and peers like how bad that support can be after.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to
seek it out for yourself. Like don't be shy. This is not you're not alone. Like there's most of my friends, I would say, get to a place where they're like, damn, I really do need to do some PT. Like something's going on.
Right. Advocate for yourself.
Yeah, advocate for yourself. Especially if you want to have more than one baby. It only gets like more, hard, more challenging. So especially on your body. I want to read one more fact. One thing we haven't talked about, and I had a big mental health postpartum after my first, but I wanted to read this stat. Around 12 to 16% of US women experience postpartum depression, but only 22% of those with positive screenings receive treatment. That's from the Harvard TH, blah, 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 the same thing. So I think it's so important. I mean, obviously you go to the pediatrician, right? Every second for that baby, like at 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, you fill out these things and it's like
asking about your mood
and your whatever. And it's like, obviously be true on those things. But even when I was being true on those things, then what? No one's calling me and being like, are you okay?
I circled the sad face.
Yeah. I circled the sad face on every single one. They're like, okay, great. So anyways, your baby ground 2 pounds. You're like, all right, cool. I'm unwell. So after Sailor, I think this was mostly pandemic related because I had such a night and day experience with my second baby. But I had to go on an SSRI. I'd never been on one before. I had to be told to like go outside and touch grass. I had to be told like, I needed help at that time. I'm so glad I did. I did talk therapy. I saw a psychologist because obviously I was going on an SSRI. It changed my life, and I went on an SSRI that I could have continued into I told them I want to have another baby right away.
Can I ask which one?
I can't remember. I think it was Wellbutrin.
Okay.
It's one that I know is pregnancy and breastfeeding safe.
Yeah.
But I did end up coming off of it before my second pregnancy.
And you haven't gone
And
back
I
on
never
it?
needed, I mean, listen, there's days I could benefit from that. I definitely am always having to check in with my mental health. You know, I have like a lot of friends that will check in, will like kind of bounce off each other. I think that's
Yeah.
so like having that support is so important.
Yeah.
But, and I have done therapy since then,
Yeah.
talk therapy, but I haven't gone back on any medication. I
Yeah.
think it was just a really rough time.
Your hormones will
It's
make your
crazy.
mind like
Having
chemically
girls, yeah.
change.
I mean, having boys obviously is challenging. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. But when I was pregnant with Sailor, my hormones went crazy.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed when I was like around 8 weeks, right around when I found out, because I found out so late, with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition that regulates your hormones. And let me tell you, that has been something. Now we're going on what? It's got to be like almost 7 years since I found this out. And that has been bigger than any physical ailment or any like that has changed my life. And we will do an episode on our autoimmune stuff.
Yeah.
But that can play a huge part in the mental health.
Yeah.
So it's like, get your blood work,
Yep.
talk to a professional, and like obviously have your friends, but like also talk to a professional, because your friends are like not professionals.
Yeah.
Turns
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Turns out. But having that support system, going outside, touching grass. I remember when I was sleep training, like just figuring out what works for you. Like when I was sleep training, which I'm so glad I did, highly recommend. And if you don't sleep train and you sleep with your kids in your bed, that's badass too. I could care less. But when I slept trained, like I knew that it was triggering her to cry. So I'd put headphones on and go outside, and Lee would handle it. It's like little things like that, like just knowing what's going to set you off.
Yeah.
And then like changing.
Right.
And so I just wanted to touch on that mental health part, but we're going to just break for 1 second. Okay, we're back. First of all, let's chat. So these are Mookie's. That's
Shout out Mookie's.
our local coffee of the day. We kind of already chugged it. We love Mookie's. I mean, I'm at least once a week for a Mookie's. Okay, but the next thing I wanted to get into, and I want to ask you about this, is about your sort of like that bounce back mentality.
Yeah.
How that plays into your mental health, obviously, but also from this aspect of like fitness instructor that kind of like can get swept and carried away in the year after you have a baby. How after baby 1, after baby 2, the bounce back mentality changed. And just kind of like how we can maybe provide any insight for someone going through like that pressure right now.
I will have to admit, like I felt the pressure too. Like it was such a weird time. Like I didn't love being pregnant. My pregnancies were relatively easy, so I really shouldn't complain. But like I had like mentally a hard time accepting the physical changes, and it was like mind-boggling to me. So of course, like after first pregnancy, I was like, I'm going to lose this baby weight right away. Nursing definitely helped take some pounds off and helped right away. And I got pregnant pretty quickly with my second, sooner than I thought. Actually, didn't even have to go through any of the
your oldest was 1
when you got pregnant? My oldest one was 1 when I found out.
They're 2 years apart, right?
2 years apart. Okay. I'm just under 2 years. So I was kind of shocked when that happened right away. But yeah, second time around, you know, the weight didn't come off as fast. And like, I really had to just like chill the fuck out. Yeah. Right?
Chill the fuck out, she said.
Like it was not good. And again, like thinking about the pandemic going on and like the mental health piece, like, I mean, in addition to just like not feeling like myself, I would literally like wake up in the middle of the night in like a panic.
Yeah.
I mean, what felt like no reason, but obviously there was so many things going on. Like, so it was really hard. But I think it was just like the slow and steady and keeping my body moving in a healthy way that wasn't like this all or nothing, right? It does not have to be all or nothing. Take your time, fuel your body, because the restrictions right away and like cutting out like calories like that.
Your body clings for dear life. They're like, keep these calories.
It's crazy. Yeah. So it's like finding comfort in like the long game. Yeah. Right? Like that's what it took. And now I feel stronger than ever. And I was telling a friend this the other day because she was, you know, talking about like the bounce back and getting her old body back. And I was like, you know what? Here's how I see it. Like, I don't feel like I have my old body back, but I feel fucking stronger than before. And like, that means a lot to me. Like, I feel more confident now. I feel stronger. And the longevity thing, that piece is there. And like, I feel like I am on the right path forward.
Definitely.
And like, it took a lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I feel good about where I'm at.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think the bounce back mentality is really hard with things like social media,
Yes.
right? You see
Oh,
like
yeah.
moms that are 22 from the South, no hate to the South. I love the
Yeah.
South, but like that's not the same experience we're
For
going to
everyone,
have at like
no.
34 having a kid. Like you just have to make sure that you're checking in with reality. I
Yeah.
think it's really easy to get swept away,
Yeah.
especially as a fitness instructor. I even
Yes.
struggle not. I mean, we'll always be postpartum. I like to
Yeah.
think that I'm still postpartum.
Yeah.
But I think even when I'm not thinking about that sort of like shift in my body, I can still get wrapped up in that, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to be an example for everyone that comes to
Right.
class. And when I was teaching fitness at age 23, I was the example. People would be like, I want her body, so I'm going to
Yeah.
come and look like her.
Yeah.
Now it's very different, right? Like we look different. I fluctuate so much.
Yeah.
Someone might be looking to us and being like, wow, that's incredible. There might be other women that are 100 steps above us in their fitness level in our classes. And for me, it's like, what I've realized is my motivation, it doesn't come from them looking at me and my body, right? Like my cues are insane.
Yeah.
I know what I bring to that fitness
Hell yeah.
class. Like, and that's what you have to, as a fitness instructor, sort of shift gears with. It's like, how can I fine tune my skills in that department instead of just thinking that like having a good back in my sports bra is going to make them work harder. Like that's diabolical.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. So I think like that piece that can help for everyone. Obviously it's not just geared towards fitness instructors, but like a lot of people are not looking in the mirror at you. And that is another thing. Like no one's looking at you. No one cares what you're doing. Everyone in class is doing their own thing. Everyone is so, not in a bad way, but especially in their workout, like this is a scheduled hour. I got this, I got to get to work. Like everyone's in their own life. So just staying in your own lane, wearing what makes you feel comfortable, not letting the fact that there's like a insanely gorgeous 22-year-old college person next to you, like none of these things matter.
Yeah.
You made it to class. You made this promise to yourself and then you kick the class's ass. And like, that's what I've had to shift gears into thinking about, how your example isn't your body.
Yeah. And be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Be kind. Like, wish I could have told my,
I know.
30-year-old
I want to
self.
look at that girl and be like, it's going to be okay. Like you literally, when I gained 60 pounds, I never thought I would look the same.
Right.
And I don't look the same. I mean, come on, you guys. I just told you I had 4 surgeries because I had 2 C-sections in 4 years. I have scars. I have loose skin. I've sewed in loose skin. It literally doesn't matter. I have 2 kids. I look amazing in my clothes. I feel amazing. And like, I'm strong.
I saw a media post on Instagram and a girl just posting about like,
we'll add it to our stories later so you guys can look at it.
I thought it was amazing. She was just, and it was said so eloquently and just like simple. She was just like, do movement that you love. Doesn't matter what it is. Like if, the trend right now is, lifting heavy, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Do what feels good for you because you're moving your body, right? Like how important and amazing is that? And like, if it works for you and it makes you happy and it puts you in a good mental state, like
that's the win.
That's the win, right? Like
that resonates a lot with me. I feel like our bread and butter right now happens to be trending, so that's great. But also like this is what I'll
Kelsey's phone died, so we're switching topics a bit.
And even if it's walking, like that's amazing. It's like
walking.
Winter and we have probably like 4 inches on the ground. But like I saw this woman this morning and she was walking and she literally stood on the sidewalk and went like this and like turned her face to the sun. And I was like, girl, yes, like that is amazing.
I won't be walking outside in this weather.
I know.
I wish I could be that gal.
I know.
But I'll throw in my headphones. I'll get on my treadmill.
Oh, you have a treadmill.
I have a treadmill. I'll do a Peloton class. Love the walks on Peloton, a walk, run. That
resonates with you.
So good. Again, 20 minutes for me just like clears my head and it is so good for my mental health.
Yeah.
If I break a sweat, if I don't break a sweat, my heart rate comes up. it's just good,
Yeah.
feel good movement for me.
Similar to me, I don't have a treadmill or anything like that. I have a reformer, and sometimes like after bedtime or something, even if I have my pajamas on, like no bra, I'm not saying it's like so nice to just get on there and just do a few things. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be so formal. Do you know what I mean?
Doesn't.
Like you
Yeah.
don't have to put on a workout set. You don't have to slick your hair back.
Yeah.
You could be wearing your pajamas and you could lay on the reformer
Right.
and stretch and move, and that feels good.
Yeah.
And I think that has really changed things for me. Like, oh, you don't need to have like a workout outfit on. You just
No.
need to go for a walk. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't need to have this crazy scheduled idea or like
Totally.
rundown of what you're going to do. You literally just have to move.
Just move.
That's it.
Simple movement.
That's it.
Yeah.
Real quick pause, just make sure we got what we wanted to say.
We were going to talk about the.
Oh yeah. Okay. So 3 tips for getting back into routine after. Okay. So
We're going to go through. What are we going to do?
Let's hear 3 tips from each of us for any woman who is getting back into things. So it could be like a postpartum moment, or even if it's just like your back was hurting for 6 months, you didn't move, and now you're like ready to start moving. Like,
Yeah.
what's tips for people to find what they like, implement some sort of routine, and kind of like shift what they've been doing before to have like a more positive outlook with movement?
Actually, something that I'm trying to implement now that is really helping, so I don't feel as stressed, is scheduling out when my movement is going to be during the day.
Okay, so is that like on Sunday you schedule out the whole week or the night before?
You know what? I am not a full week planner.
Me neither.
It is the night before. I live religiously through my calendar and my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to be a paper planner girl. So if you've talked to me recently, you probably heard me go on my tangent about my Amazon planner.
Wait, I have to show you this planner that I've been like absolutely marketed to that I have to get. It's like a leather bound planner that I'm like, now I need for life.
Is it the Louise Carmen?
Yes! This is the side of TikTok. Come on now. I'm like, now I need like a lifelong planner. Like,
we need to go to Paris.
Wait, should we go? Pilates before pickup trip to Louise Carmen in Paris. But I am on that side of TikTok, needless to say.
I was down there. That looks sick.
Yeah, it looks
I ended up buying a $13 planner on Amazon.
Okay, that will do.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's awesome. And I schedule out my day and find a spot where I have like a buffer before, after,
great tip
to fit movement in. Like, take, for example, today. One, I'm going to say I am not a morning workout girl. I wish so bad I could be her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try. I'm going to ask all of you to send your tips because I need it.
Yeah.
I need to know how I can shift to be a morning workout girl. But this morning, last night, I looked at my calendar. I was like, girl, you have no time during the day to get your movement in. Like, you got to figure it out. So I set my alarm for 5:45.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it was hard.
It's hard, especially in the depths of January. It's dark. It's cold.
It was brutal, and got my ass down to the
for you.
basement by 6:15.
So great.
Honestly, 6:15 to 7 o'clock, 45 minutes of movement for me, that was perfect.
Chef's kiss.
I got in some strength. I got in a walk, but scheduling out when your movement is.
Okay.
You know, whether it be 3 days a week, 2 days a week.
Great tip.
Whatever is good for you and whatever you're trying to accomplish, find a chunk.
Let me piggyback off that. So my first tip would be do that. Plan what you're going to do the next day, and also like either pack your bag, lay out your clothes, get your sneakers out. It's really it's so easy for me to stay in bed when it's not planned, but like when my outfit's there looking at me disappointed, it's less easy. So kind of like set yourself up all the way around. That's kind of like one big tip.
I agree with that.
Do you have anything off the top of your head? I have my next one.
Your next one?
Itching to come out. Okay.
You go.
When you're implementing a big change like this, little treats, like little things that are rewards can just like since we're toddlers, really have an effect up here. So for me, it's like, okay, if I'm really shifting into this like exercise, and it's been a long time for me, say I'm postpartum, it's like 6 months or whatever. If I do this workout, I can go get a little coffee, or if I work out every day this month, I can get a new set, or like those little goals. I think I'm just a goal oriented person. I work well like that. Can really and I'll write them down. Like before I had kids, I was a paper planner person, and I remember I would star it and be like, if I make it to this star, and I do, like at that time it was like 30 classes in 30 days, which is absolutely sick now, but I would like get myself a new sports bra, or like new headphones for my walks or whatever. So like little treats.
I love
little
that.
treats. I am such a musically driven person.
That's a good
If
one.
you have like a banging playlist,
Yeah.
you will want to walk.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I'm also walking to the beat. Let me demonstrate. Like this.
Yes, girl.
And that's important
Walk
to me.
that
Okay?
runway.
Walk to the beat. Let me just show you one more time.
No,
Maggie,
straight on,
put this
straight
in.
on,
Straight on.
straight
wow.
on. Let's see it.
I didn't know it was a This is my version of fitness.
Yeah.
And if you know me,
Do it.
you know that's how I'm walking around Marblehead.
Yes.
But
love
anyways,
that.
make the playlist, put on the bangers from
Yeah.
2009 from when you were that girl and be that girl.
Yeah.
And that's like my biggest tip.
I do love that.
Yeah.
A really good playlist to get you going,
Mhm.
especially if you're like doing your own workouts or your own.
Stacey and
movements.
I love to find a song and then find every single remix of the
Oh,
version.
every
So like I
single remix.
highly recommend like a really good one is Yukon. They have the best remixes and
All of them.
every one of them is fire. So
Yeah.
like put some of those on your playlist. Like if on Spotify, if you put in like Hot Girl Walk, there's a really good, just like kind of motivating
Yeah.
playlist.
Good
That's like a
playlist.
vibe.
That is really good.
Mhm.
Okay, so another tip for movement, and it's not necessarily like finding the time for a movement or picking the movement, but it's properly fueling your body for the movement.
Which will be different if you haven't been moving for a while and then all of a
Right.
sudden you're like doing an hour-long walk.
Right.
Like the fuel that you will need will be different.
Right. But I think like if you're not properly fueling your body with the right nutrients or, enough food, then your body's going to be exhausted. Your mind's going to be exhausted.
You're not going to want to do it the next day.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Sustainability. Let's also pick
Number one word.
sustainable. Let's also pick a routine that is sustainable.
Like don't do an hour and a half lift and then the next day think you're going to want to go do that to the gym and do that same
Exactly.
thing. You're going to want
Yeah.
be like, I hate this place.
Let's think long term. How can we make a routine
Hour
that is
walk,
sustainable?
little class, little
Right.
movement at home. Get your mat out.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
have to be like this hour and a half
Right.
thing every day because it's really hard to do
Right.
that every day.
So let me fully review. Scheduling out your movement.
Plan your outfit.
Plan your outfit.
Pack your bag.
Get your shit out there. Put it out. No reason not to. if
We
it's
saw
already
on
set up.
the Power by Steph Instagram, Michelle, shout out Michelle. She did a takeover and she literally had 4 bags the
Oh my
night
God, the
before.
bag lady.
It reminded me of me in my 20s. But
All the
seriously though,
stuff.
like
Yeah,
if you're at work, if you go to work, like, okay, pack a bag that's
Yeah.
just for the gym and then pack your lunch and then
Yeah.
pack a snack. Like you have to really be thinking about what that next day look like, when I'm going to eat,
Yeah.
because I'm going to be hungry. When am
Right.
I going to refuel? It's like
Right.
adding those things in and then, making sure that you prepare.
Yeah. So then we said refueling your body or fueling it before the workout. So
A banging playlist.
a banging playlist, that too. And then the sustainability.
Yeah.
And I
Find
think
support with your friends. There's definitely
Yeah.
someone else that's like starting to go for walks too.
Yeah.
And you can either start a little group text and check in with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Stacey's really good about being like, oh, I'm taking this class and it's almost full if you want to sign up. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I'm like, just not thinking in advance like that.
Yeah.
And so it's just like really nice to have a friend that will text and check in about taking class together
Yeah.
or going for a walk together. So find your peeps.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
I hope
Anything
this
else?
episode has so much value. There's more to say about all of this. We're not doctors, but we just are women who went through it and
Went through
know
it.
that when you are having babies, it's
It's a lot.
life-changing.
It's life-changing.
It's you changing.
Yeah.
You will never be the same. Your body will never be the same. Your
Yeah.
mind will never be the same. Your heart will never be the
Yeah.
same. And
But that's also okay. I think
you're growing into the butterfly version of
Yes.
yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Ditch the caterpillar.
Yeah, be kind to yourself and all good things will happen.
Yeah. I want to hear your comments. So comments
Yes.
on this. We saw a lot of comments on Spotify, but we want to hear about your journey with, movement through these major changes in your life,
Yeah.
pre-kids, during, pregnancy era, and then even in your toddler or big kid era. We want to
Yeah.
hear about it. If you're older than us or you have older kids than us, I'm curious about how that
How it
shift is
changes.
coming for
Well,
us.
you know what I love seeing
Yeah.
in the studio is the moms that come with their daughters. How freaking cute is that?
We have a whole clientele of just like moms and daughters. It's
It's
a lot of college
adorable.
girls. They'll come home, they'll come to class with their moms. It's like makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it's so
It's
cute.
future us,
I
right? With the
love that.
girlies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
leave your comments. We're curious. We want this to be interactive. We want to hear about your experience.
Yeah.
That way more women can hear from different experiences and we can kind of just make this like a really great forum to chat more.
So follow us on YouTube and Spotify, the
And
Pilates
Instagram.
but for podcast listening,
Yeah.
the Pilates Before Pickup podcast. Over and out.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.